reconsider your life, your decisions, and this show. This morning marijuana motivation. I'm in the middle of the jungle. My name's Mark Saint. This is Saint's Addiction. I'm addicted to this life, and I'm addicted to this patterns, my new patterns that I had to choose, that we all had to make better choices. And this is what I do this show for, is to talk about these things. And this morning marijuana motivation, I'm going to talk about dating myself. It's something that I had this concept of since my last relationship, and it was an acid trip that gave me the reflection of it. But have you ever tried dating yourself? Like, no, for reals. Like, have you ever responded the way that you would? Well, then you got Saints Addiction. Let's get into it if we could. Boom, baby, boom. Might not actually link together, and everything's incongruent. Every joint. Reconnect, reconsider. I'm done losing the signal. I got shit to do today. So the truth of it is that your boy Saint, relation is when you reveal to yourself. And if you ever asked yourself or asked your exes, what is it like dating you, right? The big question. What's it like dating you? You know, like when you're dating you, what can I expect dating you? Well, expecting to date me, loud in a self-reflecting moment. There it is. This fucking connection's being a little bitch. Kind of like how life is when it's a little bitch to you and it doesn't want to. This stays clear. I'm getting messages right now as we speak. It's tough. You know, life is tough. You're gonna react in ways you never even thought possible. I'm sick of another motherfucker. I'm just gonna punch somebody right off the fucking their motorbike. Like, why are you still here? It's another one, just loud as fuck. Always making noise, always coming through. They're not even working on construction. If you know what you, if you know, you know. There it is. We're live off the 95. Irritable doesn't even cut it. You know, ferocious does. You know, have you ever been a hurt lion? The amount of pain that you endure is almost magnified because you don't want to be in pain. You always want to be tough. I mean, that might be an ego thing. All right. Might be an ego thing. I'm trying to balance everything in balance. There we go. Trying to keep this signal going because it wants to be stupid. Cool. I finally kind of, as soon as it reconnects, I thought we were going to go with it and get into it. This morning marijuana motivation, not easy. But life's not easy. You know, you don't know how you're going to react till you're actually in the motherfucking nitty gritty. Till you're actually in an argument with someone that you care about. Till they're so intense that they're vibrating and you just don't even know what to scream and shout about anymore. You just know that they're intense and you know that you're intense and your intensity matches intensity, and then you're both two flames on fire about to burn each other out. And that's what it's like dating me. It's like dating myself, that things could be calm one minute and tumultuous the next. I think I said the word tumultuous. Tumultuous of the amount of hidden feelings that I have, you know, since I was a kid, you know, my mom leaving my dad, or feeling unbalanced, or, you know, narcissistic father, narcissistic mother, mental imbalance, you can name it, it's happened, right? And my reactions, god damn it, you fucking cocksucker, do what you're told. There you go. Trying to get these papers together. Raw papers, your shit stupid. Anyway. Just needed something to smoke, and it was the only thing that they had. But I got a video here about trauma bonding. I don't want to be trauma bonded to anyone. I don't want to be, oh, we've been through the fire, so we belong together type shit. You know, I don't want to be a kiln, you know, where only pottery and glaze are stuck to me. I don't want to be a victim where all these things happen to me and she left me and I probably didn't make her feel comfortable enough to be with me. I got to finish some of these sentences that I agree or disagree with. I think we all have something inside of us where we're, look at this guy. Now he wants to reverse all the way in my spot, all the way down the hill he just came up in. I'm literally doing the live show, and you got to wheel past me with your truck. Why didn't you just turn around and come down? Some people's kids, bro. Some people's kids. They'll never know. Why am I so annoyed by it? Marky Saint, why are you so annoyed? Why are you so annoyed? Not sure, but I'll have to figure it out. I thought I had a joint already. Let me find that joint. God damn. Nothing is in alignment. Everything's incongruent. All the things I try to fix, it's all fucked up anyway. That's what it feels like. I swear I had another joint. I must have gave it away. Yeah, like literally when I'm pulling up, nothing's in congruence. The table wants to move, things want to fall, ambulances in the background. That's what chaos feels like to me. It just feels like so much imbalance. It feels like things that are supposed to match and patterns and vibrations and flow tend to get all thrown out of proportion. And oh man, just killed another mosquito who wanted to be on my foot. Literally, as I'm putting on the mosquito repellent, I'm getting bit. So this is what chaos feels like. It feels like everything going wrong when you want it to go right. You try so hard to swim and it doesn't want to seem to go forward. It's like quicksand. The harder you move, the worse it gets. I know you know what I know. I know every human being knows what I'm talking about because that's the feeling. It's such a discouraging feeling because who doesn't want to swim? Who doesn't want to make it in life? Who wants to drown? And especially drowning on your own energy, right? Your own fear. It's like, oh no, it's happening again. And the only one that can stop it is you. You'd like to say, oh, stop this, stop that, but you haven't stopped yourself. You haven't stopped yourself from overthinking. You haven't stopped yourself from over fearing. A lot of us just let it go in the candy shop. Shit got wild. We just let it wreck our whole shop. Bull in a china shop. And then I'm wondering why none of the dishes are put together correctly, afterwards. It's like, oh shit, I ruined it. How could I be so blind? I could be so in love that now my friends are like, Mark, it's only been 2 months, how can you be so retarded? And they make fun of me, and that's fine that they don't trust me to follow my heart. They weren't there when I built Saints Addiction. They weren't there when I just had nothing and I just had an idea. And much like any of the other ideas that I have, it gave me energy. And just like love, it's like this energy is for me. This person, I want her to forever be in my lap, in my care, and her well-being is important to me. It's almost like a brother or a sister. You just don't expect, like other humans, you walk past homeless people not giving a shit, but this person, you want to make sure they never hurt again. And that's impractical, right? I'm talking about this, I'm not always happy. So dating me means you might get days that are grumpy or hangry or really intense. That seems to be my MO, is that I worked my way through my intense moments. Dating me means you're dating not a celebrity, a criminal, and maybe a mild celebrity because I do have some attention on the internet, and who wants to have their relationship aired out on the internet, right? Nobody wants to be called out on their shit, especially in public. But I feel that it's helpful to other people, especially when you keep it real, because then you're like, oh shit, I did do that. That's funny. I was the one that did kick my girlfriend out when she went on a motorcycle with another dude. Or it's not just you. It's it helps me feel like it's not just me. But I also think that there's a lot of people that know it's just not me. You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, I've been there too, bro. I've been there too. Left a girl outside of my car because she texted another boy, or maybe I got so angry that I took all my gifts back, or maybe I got so angry that I went to her house or destroyed some of her stuff or popped her tires or I didn't do any of these things. I'm just saying we're all susceptible to this kind of behavior. You know, not any of us is perfect, and none. That's why we need relationship help, and that's why we need some breakdowns in communication because not all of us have the degrees. We don't have the experience. We don't know when we're trauma bonding. We haven't watched the video. We're just full of emotions and reactions, and we not even know that the reaction came from our childhood through experience or just as a knee jerk reaction to what's happening. I'm going to play a little bit of this 8 signs of trauma bond, not love. Right? This is something I'm going to get into real quick and roll this joint with you. Let's do it, shall we?
Hey, welcome back. There has been a huge decline in mental health around the world, which is why we're so committed to creating more content than we ever have. Thanks for being a part of our journey. Do you know what it means to have a trauma bond with someone? Most people would wrongly assume that this means bonding with someone over shared trauma. But actually, trauma bonding is a defining characteristic of many toxic and abusive relationships. And it's often the main reason why we might find ourselves unable to leave them. A trauma bond refers to the deep emotional attachment one might feel towards their abuser. And it's more likely to develop in those who have a history of abuse, exploitation, or emotional codependency in their past relationships. Trauma bonds can easily be mistaken for feelings of love and commitment towards another person. So with that said, here are some signs to look out for that tell you if it's not actually love that you're experiencing, but a trauma bond. Number 1, the other person is outwardly charming. Of course, if given the choice, no one would willingly choose to pursue a relationship with someone who acts abusive towards them. The problem is, however, that toxic relationships don't start out that way. And it's usually only when you've already experienced the abuse that you start to realize something is wrong. You might develop a trauma bond with someone if they are outwardly charming, sweet, caring, and seem trustworthy to you. But don't be fooled. There might be something more sinister lurking beneath it all.
And that's what bugs me the worst is I had to earn my positivity. You know, I had to get through the trauma of abusive parents and sexual abuse and babysitters and whatever else trauma that came my way. I also had to learn every day, and it sucks because if you're charismatic, there's going to be an influence of narcissism there, where it's like, oh no, I'm just choosing to be a better person. It's literally that. I could give you the asshole version of myself easily. That guy is very short fused. He has no patience. He has no interest in your stories, and that's my narcissism. I'm just like, your stuff's boring, and I tune out, and so does every other millennial out there. You know what I mean? We just tune out, and we're disinterested, and that's a fact of the 21st century. Is, you know, everybody's got low attention spans, and we're all focusing on our own YouTubes or in our own world. We forget that other people live in this world with us. People, all I always say it. There's a battle you can't even see, you know, and that's just what it is. Inside of all of us is some sort of battle that you can't even see up here in the mental in the mind, and it has to be that way. You know, it's almost like Chinese chess where you don't know the moves the person's about to make. I call it Chinese chess because regular chess makes regular moves. These irregular moves that make no sense or are completely off the game or out of bounds. Yeah, that's what we all do. We none of us have a manual coming from us. So.
Number 2, they are emotionally unpredictable. You might be asking yourself, why don't people just leave the relationships once they realize that it's unhealthy for them?
Because it's not.
But the trouble is, it's a lot harder to spot trauma bonding when it's up close and personal, compared to if you just saw it happening to someone else.
Sure.
This is because abusive partners can often be emotionally manipulative too. They might abuse you and devalue you only to shower you with kindness, apologies, and promises to change the next.
I mean, if that isn't the MO of my world, is like it's always that damage repair cycle, right? This damage repair cycle that I have or been around where it's like, oh, I'm so sorry I hurt you. I didn't mean my temper flare up. I didn't mean me punching you. I didn't mean me degrading you as to be a form of abuse. Actually, I don't want to be abuser so much that I'm able to put on airs and show you that I'm not that way. Let me take you to a fancy dinner. Let me buy you a Birkin bag. There's a sort of cycle of abuse that I've learned. since I was a kid, and it's just something that I identified it with. It's not fun to say that your parents abused each other in front of you. It's something that that's why I was so proud of myself that I didn't raise my hand or my voice to this person. I only raised my voice once when frustration because she was wanting to dance with another guy and I just had enough of her stupid shit. But um, yeah, yelling is only for emergencies. It's never the go-to response. A lot of us don't see ourselves get triggered that much. But if your go-to is to get handsy or loud or dominate the conversation, you already know what time it is. You are out of control. And the only thing that I'm seeking now is self-control. That was the big one, especially like not only with my diet but with my mind and where it runs to. And that's why I said dating myself, I had to have these conversations with myself, bro. I when I had the acid trip in Brazil when I was dating Mets, and she was like, "Oh, you're in a really good mood," and I just realized that I was arguing with myself. Myself would be too calculating. It'll present facts instead of emotions or how it makes you feel. It only mattered the way that I felt, and I was gonna transcribe it, talk too much, dominate the conversation, and then I'd be too direct with some people where they're like, "Whoa, this is way too emotional. I can't handle it. Give it to me in pieces or little bit by little bit," and that's something we all should identify with or see in ourselves the amount of intensity that was vibrating off me. I might not be hitting you and I might not be yelling at you and I might not be calling you names, but I am very intense and I can be very direct, and that's what ended up happening. So let me see where my buddy's at right now. Yo, 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 I'm still doing the morning motivation, yo. I thought you were watching, yo. I'm gonna smoke this joint, yo, and then I'll be ready, yo. So it's 12:32 right now. We'll have like an hour to go over there and come back. It should be a quick journey. I already grabbed some money. Let's go get 100 grams of weed. Saints addiction. So this is tough, tough dating me because I have so much knowledge about psychology, and I'm not going to let you squirrel away because you feel a certain emotion. I'm going to make you actually establish, like a psychologist, where these emotions stem from and why you are feeling the way that you're feeling so we can get to the root of it. And there's some people that don't want the root of it. You know what I mean? They don't want any of that at all. Why come to the light when you can live in the darkness and stay there where you're safe? The light, they say, the truth shall set you free, but the truth is hard to swallow, and most people ain't trying to swallow the truth. They just want to live in denial, and I don't want to live that way. So let's go.
Abuse you and devalue you only to shower you with kindness, apologies, and promises to change the next day. This serves as positive reinforcement to make you second guess any thoughts you might have of leaving them. Number 3, they tend to take their problems out on you.
Right.
Think back to the last time this partner, friend, or family member heard some bad news or encountered a problem. How do they usually deal with it?
Share it.
Do they often lash out, take it out on you, even when you've done nothing
First
wrong?
thing on her mind.
They could be keeping you around as their psychological punching bag.
Oh no.
And you deserve better than that.
Yeah.
Number 4, they isolate you from your loved ones. Some people might think it's sweet to have someone who wants them all to themselves and gets jealous of those you spend your time with.
Freedom.
But there's a difference between loving someone so much you want them around all the time and actively working to isolate them from the other important relationships in their lives. Does this person get mad at you for spending time with anyone who isn't them? Do they try to control?
No, and I love that it's control when I'm trying to fucking bond with you. I already let you be with your mom. I didn't give a fuck about any of that. Or your best friend when he came all of a sudden and it was your first time back. It was never convenient. There was always a friend, a birthday, a period, or something to keep us separated. I just like being close. It lets me know that I get my oxytocin from my source and that it will be on tap. I want to make sure that I don't go without. And I think that's what it's all about. I think we're all like monkeys. Nobody wants to be without money or food or love. We're not stupid. There's some self-preservation there. I was having a conversation with my friend Audrey this morning about narcissism. Oh, I don't believe I'm narcissistic. And she has photos of herself all up and down with her titties out. And I'm like, come on, homie, I love you. So I tell people when they're in misunderstanding anymore, it's like, look, it's still me. I still love you. Same way I've been loving you. Let's just keep it a little bit more real. Everyone has narcissistic tendencies. It's the people that don't that scare me. Let's go.
Who you're with or ask you to distance yourself from your friends and family?
Never do that.
If the answer is yes,
you need your circle of influence. This is just facts. Nobody could even take me away from my mom or my circle of friends or anything like that. I got to have my own freedom, and so did she. This doesn't apply, but I was jealous of the fact that I didn't have as much time with her as I wanted, and I wanted to bond with her and build these bridges and watch these videos and go over each meme and get our notebooks out and actually work on love. And unfortunately, there's just so many distractions and made us feel separate. At least that's how I felt.
Then that's as clear a red flag as any. Number 5, you deny or minimize their abusive behavior. Now, let's look at all the ways the trauma bond might affect you. And
that sucks too, because yeah, she tried kicking my head, and I even said it low like that. She tried kicking my head. Most people like, she tried kicking your fucking head. And I was like, oh yeah, well, she caught me getting a blowjob, and I'll start making excuses. It's like, there's no reason for violence. Catch me with another woman, grab your stuff, walk away, never come back. I don't want to be anybody's narcissistic supply, and I don't want to be creating any drama with other people. I was literally just trying to break the trauma bond between us, because I just felt that it was not real love. You know what I mean? I mean, real love means you want to spend time together, and she wanted to be with her friend randomly, no plan, just I'm off with Tony, no goodbye. No more I love you.
Your behavior. Oftentimes, the most telling sign that you're in a destructive relationship is if you find yourself constantly trying to deny or minimize the other person's wrongdoings. We look past all their mistreatment towards us.
Right, I already started doing it. It's in my abusive childhood. Covering for my dad, covering for my mom. Why did they hit each other? Why did they argue so bad? Why did they have to come to the police station to exchange us? Yeah, I cover.
And minimize the abuse by saying things like, oh, it's not that bad, really. Or, really? I don't mind it. Because in the moment, it's easier for us to just brush it off instead of confronting what might be a terrible, harsh reality. That the
person I love has a short temper and is a perfectionist.
And you're with is abusing you. Number 6, you constantly make excuses for them.
Oh no.
The moment you can no longer deny or minimize what the other person has done, and a family member or friend says something like, what they did to you is not okay, don't let them treat you like that.
And her family can say the same for me, like, you were supposed to move in with them, what just happened? She was one of my best friends. Oh, how cool. Somebody's messaging me. But South Korea connections, baby. We worldwide out here. Out cheer. And I think it's such a don't let me get distracted. Anyway, with me, when I was dating myself, you know, it's like I'm gonna be argumentative. I'm gonna be in your face. I'm gonna be right here with it. You know, that's the Taurus in me. Like, what do we have to plow? And for some people, they need to get off the field. They need to go to a whole nother stadium. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to play team ball. They don't want to be in the stadium. I'm like, this is the game, homie. You can't quit. And they're like, watch me.
You're still most likely going to try to make excuses for them and come to their defense. At times, you might even find yourself feeling like you deserve their mistreatment. Once you start thinking like this, that is a critical sign that you are in a trauma bond and not a loving relationship. Number 7, you're becoming more and more emotionally numb. Have you noticed yourself feeling less and less lately? Like you're detached and emotionally numb?
It's more like, and she might say it's my ego. It's more like a self-protection mechanism, right? Like, why would I let this person continue to hurt me? If I separate from them, then I know I will be safe. And it's kind of that, right? So it's a coping mechanism. It's like, stay away from any kind of scared. And if I'm in any kind of fear, then let me go back to safe, and don't do anything that's risky, like, I don't know, communicating or going past childhood traumas, or actually doing this homework.
Might be feeling this way because subconsciously it's your mind's way of coping with all of the abuse that it's had to deal with from the person you're trauma bonded to. You can't take any more pain, fear, anger, or heartache.
That's so bad.
So instead, you close yourself off from all of your emotions. You're not as vibrant, talkative, or expressive as you used to be.
That's not
And
true. I refuse to dim my light. You know, I refuse to dim my light. I'm intense. I'm passionate. I'm focused. And with me, it's like, what do we have to do to get over this? What can we do in the now to actually fight this? And apparently, some people want to fly away. And I'm on some. We got to handle this. We're in a fucking foxhole. The fucking artillery's going over our head. Me and you gotta stay low to the ground and survive this night. And some people, they're like, I'm running, motherfucker. Watch.
they're the reason why. And number 8, you're hiding aspects of your relationship from others. Finally, but perhaps most importantly, if you start to hide certain aspects of your relationship from those around you, then you know that there's definitely something wrong. Because why else would you actively?
Yeah, I almost didn't want to tell people Sarah ran off on a fucking motorcycle. Oh my god, it hurt me so bad. I wanted to like deny it and let her have her freedom and just roll off and just trust her. Part of that I did wanted to trust her, and part of me did want to trust her, and then part of me didn't want to trust her. You know, I have trust issues. Welcome to dating me. I need reinforcements. I need sex. I need closeness. I need time. And it makes me feel bonded to them instead of them leaving me or making me feel like I have to dim my light.
They try to cover up how bad things are getting between you two. Loyalty towards an abusive significant other is a hallmark of trauma bonding. So you might find yourself becoming defensive or even angered by other people's attempts to intervene in your relationship. And
Yeah, their comments like you guys don't belong together, but they don't have good relationships themselves, and what would her mom think, and me not telling my mom. It was just all too much cover up for me. So I have to be forthright and upfront about these things.
help you. Do you relate to any of the things we've mentioned here? If you or anyone you know is trapped in a trauma bond with someone abusive, don't hesitate to speak out and seek professional help today. And if you need to, get in touch with authorities who can help you too.
I'm not abused. I mean, there's levels of abuse. I'm not getting physically abused on a regular basis. I keep my hands to myself, and I'm talking about mental abuse or being with people that are mentally unhealthy. You know, they of course they have no limits, right? I mean, they need you to survive. You know, I mean, it's almost like a victim in the water when you're trying to be a lifeguard. You know, you're trying to go out there and save them. They're flaring around and flopping and shit and being all kind of crazy and shit, and you're just like, oh man, I don't know if I can handle it. And is that part of love? Is that part of love that you need to handle them, warts and all? And even when they're in myself in an emotional situation, I wanted to be more there for her. And that's the thing that I didn't like, is that I wasn't getting that effect from her that I was helping. I was more intensifying and making her want to run more and shut down more and have emotional turmoil instead of being a relief or taking off the pressure or easing her and helping her feel calm. It made her feel more fear. And I pushed her further away. So my new approach and my next morning motivation will be about revamping me and my new approaches. Do check it out. This will be tomorrow. I've been writing some notes on things that I want to work on. Because the best things about having experiences with these relationships is I got to learn from them. You know, I got to learn on the job training OJT of what I'm like in relationships and how I handle them, or how I don't handle them properly, and what I'd like to change about me so I can get better results from my relationships, and how I can not be so direct with people and not be so intense with people, and ratchet myself down so I don't make them feel ratcheted up, and be helpful in mental healthy situations instead of being the guy that lights everything on fire. So that's my morning motivation. If you got anything out of this motivation, do like, share, and subscribe below. I got something I got to do today. Go run pick up my 100 grams real quick, but Other than that, I'm going to be on the back of the bike, being free, listening to music and doing my research. And I'm putting myself slowly back together. Let's talk about it tomorrow. And I hope you guys have a blessed day. Peace and love. And as always, Chi Gatan. That means goodbye, but not forever and finish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching today. If you've ever had a relationship and you wanted to figure out what kind of love style or attachment style or benefits of love, stick with me. I'm going to keep doing my research and figuring out why I fall so hard and why I fall so fast and why I've fallen so far. And that's my morning motivation. Peace and love. I'll see you on the other side. Ciao. Beijos. Beijos.